Hello, I'm Marshall Courtney, Video Production Specialist for Ascension 21. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Inside Ascension. In this episode, I'll bring you the latest on the construction of flood prevention facilities throughout the parish, and how the Office of Emergency Preparedness has improved getting information to residents quicker during emergencies. Also in this show, keeping our parish clean for future generations. We'll also take a trip to the lakes at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center to show you why your fishing experience should only be getting better. We'll also give you a front row seat at the Jambalaya Festival in Gonzales. And you'll want to stick around, because we close the show with a special lanyap segment with a band that is in the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame, and they're from Ascension Parish. And it all starts right now, Inside Ascension. When voters approved a sales tax back in 1984 dedicated to flood prevention and drainage improvements, the parish commissioned the Follett Plan, developed to allow for greater flood protection and a better peace of mind for the community. Here's a look on where we stand now on the implementation of that plan and the construction of what is becoming the front line of defense against flooding in Ascension Parish. The Follett Plan, designed by the sandbaggers who were inaugurated in 1984. This small group was initiated following the flood of 1983 after seeing over 800 homes and businesses flooded, with an estimation of over $23 million in damages in Ascension Parish alone. Their agenda? To protect their parish from future events such as this. And in 2013, that plan is still underway, improving conditions so to better fight against the chance of future flooding.
These guys been on the council for a bunch of terms to try to get this done, and what we got it in construction.
The Henderson Bayou project near Galvez commenced toward the middle of 2012 and is set to be completed sometime in the first quarter of 2014 after hitting several setbacks due to inclement weather and difficult working conditions during the early months of 2013.
The basic overall cost of the project is right at $21 million. That's total. That's land acquisition, land mitigation, engineering, and construction. We have an estimated completion of the project probably in the first quarter of 2014. We've had some bad storms and some bad weather, and we got some soil conditions that are tough to fool with, so we've had some setbacks, but it's coming along good now. Everything's online. This Henderson Bayou project is similar to the last phase of the Follett Plan, the original plan, of things that would be encapsulated within that plan, within the flood basin. There's a lot of things that lead up to real construction, so that's when we landed, but it takes about 2 months to get everything. We had to get some right-of-ways in, get some stuff to get to the site. If you notice, we're on the east side right now. To get on the other side, onto the west side, we had to get right away through some private land and do some things and get us a road built, a construction road built in. That takes time, and we've mitigation issues and getting everything square with the Corps of Engineers. They're part of a major plan, okay? Like I said, like a plan called the Follett Plan, and there were several phases of that plan. The first was the Marvin Bro Pumping Station, which we're going to see later, that took care of the drainage in the New River Basin, which is a very large basin. And actually, I'm very proud of the people of Ascension Parish for going forward, putting up the money. Every project that we've done for the past 25 years is done with Ascension Parish taxpayers' money, okay? And that New River Basin flood project, when at its inception, was one of the largest municipal projects in the United States at that time.
This is actually the last phase of our major drainage project that actually started in 1984.
Yeah.
And this will be the culmination of that entire project, the Marvin Bro Pump Station, which you'll see a little later. This project, we've also been able to, in the future now, incorporate another project, which is going to be the Laurel Ridge Levee, which is going to be across Highway 431, and that's going to protect a lot more of our citizens by actually levying off that section. And the reason we can do that is because of the money that was saved with the Drainage Board doing what they did and doing value engineering. This project was projected to cost $55 million in the beginning, and as you're in at $21 million. So with the extra money that we have, we're going to be able to do some extra projects, including Laurel Ridge Levee, and also we're going to be able to do the Alligator Bayou Frog Bayou Lock.
You know, the vision of the folate plan and would be Polish juries back then meant that, you know, it said, hey, it's time to get something to protect the people of Ascension Parish. This project at Henderson Bayou Pump Station in Floodgate, it's the same scenario. For Gonzalez, I mean, you know, that Marvin Bro pumping station means everything in the world to him. This Henderson Bayou Pump Station in Floodgate, it means everything to the, you know, everyone from the north end of the parish to, you know, north and southeast part of the parish that is going to benefit from this floodgate. And all of them that, you know, the Mitch Epps, he's part of the sandbaggers. He's the strong backbone of, you know, trying to finish out this project and just making sure that, you know, everyone is protected in the parish. And I think you're going to see that we're looking at. It's really going to help the parish.
The Henderson Bayou floodgate will protect residents from backwater, but with the addition of 2 pumps, it will also be able to push out water before and during heavy rainfall within the basin. Along with future improvements to the Laurel Ridge Levee, the parish's flood protection is getting greater and greater.
Project's gonna take care of the backwater flooding from Bayou Manchac and the Amite River, and coming back into the Henderson Basin, and for flood protection from backwater. And there's also be a pumping station. It's designed for 1,000 cubic feet per second on the pumps, and it's got a very large basin that it's going to protect. The mechanics of the project is coming to floodgates right here, and the pumps in on the back side right there. All right, so we'll be able to close the gates, and then we'll be able to pump when we see a level that we feel like we need to pump out on the inside. But the first precaution on all our flood projects is we have gates we can close to keep backwater from coming in. And the pumping is used for rainwater events on the inside while we're pumping, while we've got the gates closed.
Protect approximately 500 homes. And those people go to bed now when they know there's an incoming storm. At least they'll be able to hopefully sleep soundly without worrying about water coming into their houses. So
it's primarily a floodgate. It's protection from the Amite River for major floods like they had in '83 and '77 and in Allison back in 2001. Like I said, primarily a floodgate to prevent the high water from the Amite River from coming into the Henderson Bayou Basin. As a secondary benefit, we will have, like Councilman said, 1,000 CFF pumps, 2 pumps, 500 apiece, that will be there in case the high water, when we have a high water event behind the structure and we get a lot of rain within the basin, we'll have a capacity to pump that water out so the people don't get into a flooding situation based on rainfall within the basin while we have a flood event on the backside of the basin. Going back to the '83 flood, which is basically our highest flood we ever had, record flooding in the parish. The area of the parish that was flooded then compared to the area of the parish that is protected now is about 70%, 75%. When we finish this project and the Laurel Ridge Levee project, in addition to the Marvin Bro pumping station project, again, about 75% of the area that was flooded in '83 will be protected now. So we will only have about 25% of that area flooding if we get a similar event in the future.
Located near Sorrento, the Marvin Bro pump station opened in 1990 and is still undergoing improvements to further support the needs and safety of its surrounding residents, with the developments to this facility looking to be completed sometime in the month of May.
It's the first major pumping station and flood control structure we had in Ascension Parish, and it's been around since the '80s, okay? and it's been through several evolutions. We started out with just the pumps, and inside we've had a revision. Go ahead and build a structure over all the existing pumps. We have 5 pumps that each pump 1,000 gallons per 1,000 cubic feet per second. Okay. And we're very proud of the people of Ascension Parish who spend in excess of $100 million of their own money for all these projects. We work with the Corps of Engineers to get these projects done, and we work with the engineering companies, but we haven't had any federal money. So what we're doing now today is in about a month we're going to have a substantial completion, which gives you a punch list time of about another month and a half. So within the next couple of months we're going to have this revision. This new thing is we're adding pump bays 6 and base 7, but we're only adding pump 6, which is behind you, and that'll give us another 1,000 cubic feet per second, which is a 20% improvement over the pumping capacity, and it also gives us some installed redundancy for repairs and for maintenance while we're pumping and we're running all 5 pumps or running all 6. All right, and just to give you an idea, that on 1,000 cubic feet per second, that's 500,000 gallons per minute. Okay, all right, times 6, that's 3 million gallons per minute. All right, we'll be moving out the New River Basin. The New River Basin is the largest basin in Ascension Parish. We're getting ready to crank up a pump right now. They test run them on a regular basis and do PM on them. This project here is part of one of our major project plans that we had, our bonded money, and it's well under budget. We hope to have it up and running in about a month. It's very vital because the whole in Ascension Parish, when this was put in, this saved a lot of houses in Ascension Parish. I personally sandbagged my house in the early 80s, about 6 sandbags high. Okay, this pumping station saves us, and it's vital to a lot of people. Well, that's our goal, to get more water out and get it out in a shorter length of time. And our parish is flat and flatter. Okay, one of the main issues you have is not just pumping the water, but getting the water to the pumping station. So the channel improvements that we've had throughout the parish and we continue to do is one of the things. The topography of Ascension Parish has changed in the last 30 years. The original full-lead plan that integrated this major project was the first big project of the full-lead plan, and we just went to Henderson Bayou and we saw that, which is one of the last parts of the full-lead plan. And there's, you know, you can run, if you're going to run for 5 to 6 days, okay, and multiple days, 2 days, 3 days at a time, you need to bring one pump down for preventive maintenance and, you know, small things. But this is going to be a great attribute to the parish.
Well, I think this extra pump also gives us some insurance. It's like an insurance policy. In the event one pump goes down, which we were scared of, and Isaac, as he said in January, there was a possibility that the water would overtop the pump station. And that's certainly a situation that we don't want to happen. Because if we wouldn't have had all 5 pumping at one time, if a couple of them would have went down, that probably would have happened because we wouldn't have been able to keep up. So it's vital to us and it's vital to the major plan overall. Hopefully we can get the other pump in. This is 6, and we'll put 7. I don't think there'll ever be a time when we have to run 7 or we'll be able to run 7. But I think that ensures us that we can always run 5 at least by having this backup.
And at Frog Bayou, 2 pumps were rented by the parish to aid in the draining of the Bluff Swamp area after several days and inches of rainfall came across South Louisiana earlier this year.
The water is stuck in Frog Bayou, which is the Bluff Swamp area.
Yeah, Chris, come over here.
We're getting the 2 pumps lined up. Each one will pump 68,000 gallons a minute to help out with relieving the water pressure on that side in case it would have a heavy rain coming in the near future. It's a levee in between the Alligator Bayou and the Bluff Swamp. The water is over that right now. But we should help it all right now and get this water across here by pumping it right now. What we're trying to do is prep for the closure of the road. We're going to install the pump, the fittings, the pipe, half of it, and actually slide this pump that is a floating pump and to the water. Once it's in the water, we were going to barricade the pipe that will be sticking into the road, let traffic go through tonight. 7 o'clock in the morning, the road is officially closed. We're going to connect the other pipe to it, hopefully turn the pump on, and away we go. What it is a 6x6 box is under here. It takes 4 weeks for this water to get down to a safe level. With the two pumps combined, it should be working like a box and a half faster, forcing it over. That's what we're trying to accomplish. In 2 weeks' time, we hope to have what we're trying to accomplish to have at a safe level.
With many of the questions and concerns about flooding being answered, the council and the parish can now look to new projects to address, one of which is sewer and wastewater issues. And much like the sandbaggers that were united in 1983, parish residents have yet another dilemma before them: how to improve their current sewer predicament.
Take a group effort, just like with the flooding. You had a group of people that was formed, sandbaggers, just trying to get people out to help get the funding to protect them from flooding. You're gonna have to do the same thing with wastewater and sewer. People are gonna have to get together. I mean, we moving fairly quick on this, and you're gonna have to have it.
The citizens made a commitment to drainage. They had a big, the floods of 79, 83, and those started, it really came to the forefront of the people's attention. So at that point in time, they made a dedication, came up with a plan, and funded that plan. And we're trying to work the same thing with sewer. Although it's not as a dynamic of an issue in front of people as far as sewer is concerned, it's behind the scenes. It's the everyday thing that we've been kind of steadily seeing develop through the years, over the last 20 years. And so now we're to the point of where, the regulatory side of it is sooner or later they're going to come in and make us do something, but we want to focus our attention on the quality of life in the parish. We want to focus our attention on what we can do to help the citizens out. And we recognize that there is an issue, and it's not about laying blame on whether it's the growth or not the growth or whatever. We all do a little bit to contribute to it because everything goes into our ditches and our canals. So from there, it's what do we do? How do we come up with a plan? What plan do we come up with in order to address that need? And that's where we're at. We're in the process of wanting, and the ultimate outcome is to come up with a plan that says this is what sewer will look like in Ascension Parish. This is what we predict the cost to be. Now, how can we fund that? And are the citizens ready to do that? And so that's what our goal is to come up with some plan to put forth to the citizens to see if they're willing to go ahead and address sewer now, to where we have a little bit more of control of our own destiny. As we're working through the process, the regulatory, the DEQ, the EPA have noticed what we're doing. They noticed the talk that's going on. They're encouraging us to continue that. And as long as we're making that progress, they're going to watch, and they're going to sit there and let us control our own destiny. And so as long as that's happening, I believe we're in a good space. And I think it's right. It's just like with this project here. We chose something to control our own destiny. You've got to deal with the federal government and the state government as far as what's the upstream and the downstream effect of a project this big. And same thing with sewer. We've got to deal with those regulatory agencies, but as long as we're controlling our own destiny and we're doing what we want, what we can do within the regulatory side to make sure that we're cleaning up our environment and that we're doing the good things to clean up our waterways. One of these that you can fish and swim and hunt and ski and those type of things. That's what that's all about, and that's the benefit of the sewer.
For more information on flood protection and how to prepare yourself and your home, call the Office of Emergency Preparedness at 225-621-8360.
Welcome home, man. What if a disaster strikes without warning? What if life as you know it has completely turned on its head? What if everything familiar becomes anything but? Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed today. Learn how at ready.gov.
The Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness is now better prepared for emergency situations. With the addition of new emergency broadcasting equipment, the Ascension Parish OEP is now able to reach the citizens of Ascension Parish on a whole new medium, broadcast radio. Here's a look at another way for you to stay connected and informed in times of need.
It's been about an 18-month process. We've been working very closely with KKY Radio. The impetus behind it is we are completely off the grid if we're out of power. If our residents don't have electrical power and the television isn't working, telephones aren't working, we have the capability now to capture the broadcast of the radio station and put out emergency information directly to the public. Part of that initiative was providing auxiliary power, generator power to the station and transmitter sites for them, and putting a small studio here in the EOC, so that was critical to getting emergency information out to the public when we need it. So we do appreciate KKY's involvement with this. One of the only EOCs in the state, any EOC for that fact, that can capture a broadcast of a radio station and do this. So we do appreciate Harry Harler and the KKY team for working with us on this.
Simply going through the equipment and explaining what we have set up between KKY Radio and the operations here at the parish, we have set up a rather simple situation. We have found that we are the only radio station and the only parish in the state of Louisiana that is set up the way we have set this up. This program we have set up is to advise the public immediately of any impending danger, whether this be weather, hazmat situation. The parish has immediate control of the radio station to pass along this information. I'm going to try and walk you through as to what we do. We have over here on this computer a program that allows the parish to record many messages that can be sent out over the internet 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We use this program in conjunction with an audio board that we have here. They're able to record the information and put it into the computer, feed it out over the internet connection that we are in the process of setting up right now. They also have the availability to go live on the air at the radio station. They don't have to call the radio station and say, can you put us on the air? They have a code that they're able to punch into a device we have at the station. They are able to interrupt the programming at the radio station and to keep that programming interrupted for any period of time that they feel necessary to disseminate the information to the public. If by some chance, for whatever reason, if the station was unmanned, but in an emergency situation it is not, the parish has immediate control of the transmitter, the transmission facilities. The importance, of course, is that they will have immediate information that is given to them. They don't have to wait for this to come through the state. They don't have to wait for it to come through the federal government. Or whatever the parish would deem necessary to interrupt the programming, they can do that. It can be weather related. It could be something as simple as maybe out on the interstate, a hazmat situation with a traffic accident. Anything they deem necessary to latch the audio, as I call it, of the radio station, that is their prerogative. They have this access and they don't have to ask permission. They don't have to call and say, I need to get on the air. They do it themselves and they provide the information to the public.
You know, what I'd like KKY to become is kind of the voice, of emergency management in the parish. So we want to have a public outreach program that advises the public that when you lose power, or even if you don't lose power, tune to 5090 AM KKY, and you're going to be hearing live broadcasts from the Emergency Operations Center, which is unique in emergency management to begin with. So this, we've through with the testing. We're going to do a little bit more testing this week, but we want it to be the voice of emergency management. If we need to get information out, as well as our local media, we're going to be broadcasting live on KKY, even if we're completely off the grid. That's the goal.
Also, everything is streamed on the internet as well, whether it be on any of our 3 internet feeds, plus the new internet feed we will set up for the parish. They will have the opportunity, once with this program over here, to stream 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, providing information to the public at all times. The public can go to this internet feed. They can listen on their iPhone. They will be able to listen 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the information provided by the parish.
And with the addition of new technology, I wouldn't, initially I wasn't a real big Facebook fan. I didn't have a Facebook page of my own, but I couldn't argue with the success. I mean, after Hurricane Isaac, I seen how much the office Facebook page grew. So definitely this isn't going to be the only means that we get information out to the public. It's another tool in the box that we can use to get it out there. So with Facebook, with the website, with contacting all of our local media, but this one is one that we can definitely control. Well, we've got some redundancy in it. With the generator power, we have continuity of operations with the station. So we feel confident that it'll stay up and running, and we can, and no matter how much damage we sustain, we can still get that critical information out to our residents.
For instance, if the parish wants to interrupt the programming, the only thing they will need to do is they have a phone. It's the red phone up here, the hotline as it may be. They have the red phone. They will be able to call the special number. They'll punch a code into the keypad on the phone. At that point, all they have to do is sit here at the audio console, and when we have several different mics that we can use, and the only thing they will do is then broadcast live through the phone line back to the transmitter facility. They have all of the capabilities that basically we have in the studio at the radio station. The thing is, though, they can bypass this. They can bypass everything that we have at the studio, and they can broadcast live from here. If something would happen, we would lose the facilities in Donaldsonville, and we have an emergency situation going on, they can broadcast live from here. If a state of emergency exists, then we suspend all regular programming. This would mean you would not hear music, you would not hear commercials, you would not hear paid programs. You hear emergency information, that if it's a state of emergency. Yeah. The one thing that I want people to know is that we work diligently. And I speak of we, the parish, the radio station. We work diligently in being able to set this up so the public gets the information first, and more importantly, they get correct information. If you tune to KKAY Radio, 1590 AM, you're going to get correct information. If you go to the website, by the same token, whether it be kkaysports.com or globalradio.kkay.com, you're going to get information that's provided by the parish or officials. You're not going to get a news story. That is just a very simple process. We will very simply give you the information that is provided by the parish or public officials, not a news story.
All of our residents, I mean, we're about 120,000 population, give or take, but, goal and an objective for me behind this was to bring the EOC staff through twice a day and have them brief the public on each one of the seats in EOC. I mean, we've got 21 different seats. What's happening with emergency transportation, what's happening with communications and public works and fire services and emergency medical services, what are our shelters doing? So each emergency support function can brief the public on what they have going on twice a day. In addition to that, an elected official can give their emergency message out to the general public. So it's a unique opportunity that we have, and it's exciting. I can't wait to get it initiated. Keep trying to improve the processes, and this is one of the tools that we use to do that with. So I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a definite plus for the parish in terms of public information. How do we get public information out to the residents?
Is there anything else you think?
Did you buy the flashlight and the batteries?
Yes.
Did you make sure we're not missing anything in the first aid kit?
Yep.
Did you go through the plan with the kids again?
Yes.
The more you prepare today, the more you'll be able to reduce the devastating effects of a tornado, an earthquake, a power outage, or any other disaster. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed. Visit ready.gov.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you were really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
According to the Environmental Protection Agency, each of us produces an average of 4 pounds of household hazardous waste each year, which gives an average of about 20 pounds per household, coming to a grand total of approximately 530,000 tons per year in the United States. Ascension Parish recognized the need for a proper disposal strategy for not only these materials, but also an established recycling program.
What we're here today for is a household hazardous waste collection. We're PSC, Phillips Services, environmental company. We deal with hazardous waste. I'm the manager of our program for the Texas and Louisiana Gulf Coast region. We go all over. People bring their stuff to us that they're not supposed to put in the trash, and we recycle it, send it various different ways. And there's great technology out there. It's getting better and better for all recycling. Right. No landfill.
This gives the people in the parish the opportunity to get rid of household hazardous waste. The parish president, Tommy Martinez, initiated this program a few years ago, and as you can see, it's very beneficial.
It gives you an outlet when you call and try to find out what can I do with this stuff because I'm trying to do the right thing. And used to you didn't have any answers. Now, thanks to the parish coming up with, and the government programs and the LDEQ sponsoring also, the money is coming from your taxes. The money is funded that way. In reference to being able to give a customer or give a company like us, we come in, we can take that material, send it the correct way, and otherwise people are dumping it in ditches or putting it in their trash, and then you might have a sanitation worker get hurt because it came in contact with something that it shouldn't have. Right. You see that in the news quite often, that somebody gets hurt or killed.
Household hazardous waste. You may be thinking that the items under your sink or carport, in your garage or other rooms of your home do not pertain to this category. However, many of the items in those locations contain possibly hazardous ingredients or materials that need to be disposed of properly.
Paint, TVs, appliances, any kind of hazardous material, tires, cell phones, batteries.
Say we're having tires, scrap metal. We have CACRC, who's out of Baton Rouge, taking computer electronics that they can refurbish. And that's a good program. Whatever he can't accept, we take back as like TVs and other older materials that can't be refurbished, and we send that to a recycler. It stays in the United States and gets broken down for the plastics and everything. Then we have the battery here to take all type batteries and send for recycling. And then we take the hazardous, more chemicals like gasolines, diesels, there's motor oil, antifreeze, oil filters, all that stuff under your sink, the corrosive materials that you clean your tub with, mercury thermometers, propane cylinders, the list goes on and on and on of what we can accept. Yeah.
This was no small undertaking by the parish. Several companies and organizations offered their services with upwards of 60 employees and volunteers working to keep Ascension clean.
We have volunteers from BASF with the automobiles coming in, checking their IDs to make sure they're parish residents, and everybody's real pleased with it, and they're all saying, hey, we need it more often.
Yes, we actually today have 20 employees from our facility. LDEQ's here with volunteers pouring up the latex paint to send to recycle to Salvation Army. We have tires, volunteers for that, and Shell's out here going to serve lunch to us today. So yeah, it's a great program.
Well, it is good to see all of the companies come together with the community for that goal of environmentally sound. So.
Within the first 40 minutes of the collection, over 100 vehicles had made their way through the collection line, stopping at each point where they had materials to drop off for proper disposal.
All right. What are you dropping off here today? Paint from building our house. We've been having it in the shed for a long time, so ready to get rid of it.
How long have you been having to paint?
What, 5 years? Something like 5 years.
Well, I'm bringing a TV, a 32-inch. Well, they don't want to throw any stuff in the dump like this, so I've been having it on my back patio. So since they had this, I knew it was coming up, so I figured I'd just bring it out over here.
Yeah. What makes you decide to bring it out here instead of just throwing it out in the trash?
Well, I think it's irresponsible just to dump it in the trash. It's still wet, and so we heard about this and figured we'd go ahead and get rid of it the right way. So.
Do you think this is something positive to go on in the parish, for the residents?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, otherwise people end up dumping it in the back of their property or in a ditch or whatever, and so didn't feel like that was the right thing to do. So we've got probably, 30 gallons back there, so it's a lot of paint. So we're going to give it to them and let them deal with it.
Thank you very much.
It's better than seeing them drop. A lot of time I see them drop stuff inside the road and everything else. This is ideal.
Ascension Parish has held the household hazardous waste collection for 5 years now. Each year's been a success, including this year's, with an estimation of over 32 tons of materials collected, surpassing 2012's results. The parish looks forward to continuing this tradition, and an event such as this just goes to show how important it is to the people of Ascension to keep their parish clean.
Taking care of our environment for our kids is crucial. That's a very important task to take, and to dispose of things properly, opposed to putting everything in your garbage or even worse, dumping it.
And in Prairieville, the Recycling Roadshow is taking place, giving residents the chance to not only drop off hazardous waste at Lamar-Dixon, but also to dispose of regular household recyclables at the Walmart in Prairieville.
The first Saturday of every month we have recycling over here, keep all this debris out the landfills. Unless you come out here and experience it, you can't imagine how much debris is carried over here.
Right. In Prairieville they pick up between 3 and 5 tons a day. They're down there on Saturday.
For most of the items that you can't dispose of in your trash or yearly at the household hazardous waste collection held at Lamar-Dixon, the Recycling Roadshow will gladly accept.
Plastic, cardboard, glass, and paper goods. And there's also metal cans, aluminum cans, everything else.
The Roadshow is just another worthy cause Ascension has established to aid in the amount of debris brought to local landfills and to fight littering.
Every month I come here, and every month I keep picking up more and more stuff because I see that I can recycle different things and more things, and so I just pack it up and wait for the first of the month, first Saturday.
Right. All right, thank you very much.
It would be very much worthy if the people would come over here and put this in this dumpster instead of coming down the road and throwing it out on the road.
Well, it keeps the landfills much cleaner and stuff, and you just you recycle this, and they can use it for some other type products. They can make stuff. I'm sure they make things out of this recycled drink bottles and all this.
Residents have shown great support for this program, returning each month to dispose of their household recyclables properly.
10:30 now. We started at 9 o'clock, and we're up to 80 cars already. So, we're a resident of Ascension Parish for 60 years. Been working with Public Works for 24. So I think it's really a benefit to Ascension Parish, us providing this service. Very much a worthy cause, from what I can see of it.
The main purpose is to keep Ascension Parish clean, to give the residents a place to bring their materials so they don't have to dump them beside the road, and to keep the parish clean. It's our beautiful parish, and the parish president's goal was to keep it clean and keep it growing.
During the month of April, the household hazardous waste collection gathered over 38 tons in materials. In the same month, the Recycling Roadshow collected over 3 tons in materials, and almost 18 tons have been collected thus far in 2013. All in all, over 56 tons of recyclables and household hazardous waste has been collected. That is over 100,000 pounds of trash kept off the roads and out of our ditches, waterways, and yards. Litter is an ongoing battle throughout Ascension. Please continue to take part in the recycling and hazardous material collection programs as they occur, and don't resort to littering or illegal dumping. Help protect our parish. Keep Ascension Parish clean and beautiful by picking up litter when you can, and if you see someone dumping trash or littering in Ascension, call the Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office Central Dispatch at 621-8300. And to report littering anywhere in Louisiana, call 1-888-548-7284. For more information on the Recycling Roadshow and the items accepted, call Don Heisel at 225-219-5337 or go online to ascensionparish.net. To find out more about household hazardous waste and recycling, visit epa.gov.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
Lead paint poisoning affects 1 million children today. If you're pregnant or have young children and your home was built before 1978, you could be at risk. Learn how to protect your family. To find your home's danger zones, the health effects, or just to find help, log on to leadfreekids.org.
Biologists from the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries recently paid a visit to the ponds at the Lamar-Dixon Expo Center in Gonzales, bringing with them fish that will help control the aquatic vegetation in the ponds, managing the water bodies naturally.
Today we're stocking grass carp into the 11-acre pond at Lamar-Dixon. The idea is the grass carp eat the submerged vegetation. This pond is notorious for during the summer months. It gets really thick with submerged vegetation such as southern naiad, coontail. It's a mixture. The grass carp, that's what they love. They love grass, hence the name. So
it's going to be 55 grass carp, triploid grass carp, and like Brian said, our primary purpose is to control the aquatic vegetation in the pond. If you get too much of it in here like that, people they hang up in the grass whenever they try to fish. So that's their sole purpose pretty much, is to control the vegetation in the pond.
what we have is an adequate population of fish, but what we want is for those fish to concentrate in places where people can come and target those little areas so they can have a better chance of catching those fish.
And the carps just to be strictly eat the grass?
The carp just eat the grass, correct. That's all they do. They just eat the grass. You know, if people catch them by some chance, which they really don't, typically catch them on a hook. Just return them, don't remove them from the pond. The idea that we're stocking them is for the purpose of allowing bank fishing access. During the peak summer months when the grass is growing the most, what happens is it gets along the edges, the bank of the pond, and people come out and they can't cast over it. So fishing success is limited. You want to have bank access. This is a pond where you can go all the way around the pond and fish. So. The grass carp will hopefully limit that. They're going to go start to go to work immediately. As soon as they put them in there, they have to eat, so they're going to start eating. That's the first thing they do, their sole purpose in life. These carp are triploid, which means they're sterile. They do not breed. The number we put in is the number that stays in here unless we have a mortality or something like that. But that's the idea, is just to give people access, because the fish population in here is actually, there's a very good balanced population of bass and brim, but the problem is access to those fish. So that's what we're after, is just getting people to be able to catch them. And the idea was we want to get it to where you can come target fish on any given day and just at least catch something. You don't have to get a big bag of 15-pound bass or something like that, but at least you'll catch a few brim, maybe some bass, and have a good day and get kids interested in fishing. So that was pretty much the sole purpose of doing it. Inland fisheries, we're responsible for managing public water bodies throughout the state. So out of the Baton Rouge office, we have 14 parishes that we're responsible for. So any water body within that parish, we're in charge of fisheries population management, aquatic weed management, and all the associated research and data items that are involved with that stuff. This pond in particular, we got a request from Mr. Tommy Martinez to come out and take a look at it. And this is, it's a public area, so that's what we want. Around the Baton Rouge and Ascension area, you're kind of limited on where you can go if you don't have a boat. So this is a great little place where you can bring your kids out and they can brim fish or bass fish. And the idea was we want to get it to where you can come target fish on any given day and just at least catch something. There's an 11-acre pond on the Lamar-Dixon facility, and there's a 4-acre pond as well. We've put in a request to get channel catfish stocked in both ponds. Those should be coming later in the year. They're not here today, obviously. It's dependent on hatchery availability and other factors. But catfish are coming, and so people are going to expect to see that in the next few months. And we're going to also start adding some artificial structures to the 11-acre pond. Close to the bank where people can target the structures, the fish will concentrate on the structures, and hopefully give it a little better opportunity and success for fishing and getting some hook sets for everybody.
But it would be safe to keep your distance until the no secret that laughter makes you smile. Reliable sources say that chicken soup has found their way out of this dangerous, but they are returned.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Back in 1968, Gonzales held the first Jambalaya Festival to promote the city and highlight the great jambalaya cooks in the area. 45 years later, the festival is bigger and better and still features the best jambalaya you'll find anywhere. Here's a look at this year's festival. This annual event ushers in people from across the U.S. to the jambalaya capital of the world, Gonzales, Louisiana. The 46th holding of the event brought numerous avenues of entertainment to the city, including a carnival, music, vendors, a raffle, and of course, the cooking contests, which may not be as easy as it sounds. From the pot to the table, each batch is constantly being judged.
Well, we walk around and make sure everybody's using all their hands and all their rice. They have to use all their meat and all their rice. And as far as the seasonings, they can't bring their own seasoning in, but we supply seasoning and they can use the amount that they want.
Okay.
So pretty much, and they look at, like when they're putting all their jambalaya, their finished product in an ice chest, they look at the level of it to make sure that they put all that they like to make sure that they use their amount of rice that they were supposed to use in their chicken. Because in the past we've had people that didn't use all their rice or didn't use all their meat, and they would throw their meat away or put some meat in there that really wasn't done at the last, because the meat will break up, and that's not a good thing when it breaks up. They want a clean jambalaya. Well, they just have to have their jambalaya from start. They can start their fire, and then when the time starts, and they have 3 hours to finish it. In 3 hours, when the 3 hours is up, they have to have their fire off the their pot, and then they have 15 minutes to get it into the ice chest. So they really have 3 hours to cook it, and then 15 minutes to make a presentation in their ice chest with their jambalaya.
The coveted contest to become the world champion jambalaya cook began with an astounding 109 contestants. The first round left 32 cooks to attempt to make it to the final 12. After the finalists were chosen, the 12 crews were just a few hours away from cooking what would become World Championship Jambalaya.
Well, we made it this far, so that's pretty good. Yeah, I won this whole thing twice already, so we hopefully we'll find the right set of judges again today. You know, that's what it's all about. You just got to put your best one up there and hope the judges find it. You know, that's really all it's about.
I was a helper for Joey Bro in '95 when he won. This is my 6th time in the semifinals, and I made it 1 time to the finals.
And then they only choose one. Second place might be just a point or a half a point off, but nobody knows yet. But this, in the past, they've never known who second place was. You know, they don't announce a second or third place winner. But if you know your number, you can go online after the festival and you can see how close you were to winning.
Okay.
You know, and it helps, and it also tells you, where you was weak at, and it's really good because it helps you to improve over the year.
Right. And after a long weekend of making it through the first 3 rounds, the finalists were given 3 hours to cook and 15 minutes to plate their final pot. Now all the cooks could do was wait along with friends, family, and the rest of the crowd as the 5 judges approached the sampling table one last time.
My role as a judge is we get together and eat after each heat is cooked, usually between 10 and 15 pots. Our role is to taste and analyze each pot according to the rules of what we have to judge by. Usually takes us about 30 minutes to an hour to do each heat, and it's different categories of rice texture, chicken flavor, overall flavor, hard grains of rice or split grains of rice, quite a few different categories.
The judges had 4 criteria for judging the jambalaya: chicken flavor, rice texture, appearance, and overall flavor. By Sunday evening, after the final round had been sampled, each judge had tasted over 160 batches of jambalaya in order to find the one that could be called world champion.
By the time the weekend's done, we're going to be about 160 pots that we're going to be tasting. So, needless to say, I think somebody told me earlier that for our gift for being a judge, they're going to give us a to-go box full of jambalaya. I'm not sure if I want that or not.
The Jambalaya Festival is not just for the jambalaya cooking enthusiast. Each year, the festival offers a safe and fun environment for families to come and enjoy a time-honored tradition. So before we leave you, let's take a minute to review the sights and sounds of the 2013 Jambalaya Festival.
I think, you probably hear this a lot, but I think that the best part is the family atmosphere, obviously the competition is a big thing, the camaraderie with the cooks and the challenges with these guys got to go through to cook. But the overall festival, I think, is the family atmosphere where you can bring your family out here and have a really good time, a good, safe environment, and see some old friends.
And if you missed the announcement at the Jambalaya Festival, here it is again.
2013 Jambalaya Champ. Get your tickets out.
Ticket number 303770.
Scott Duperson. Scott Duperson. Hey, Ross Sauce. Scott and Kelly Duperson.
Say yes. Get on your knees.
How you feel right now, buddy?
I'm pretty speechless. Being up on stage with Jeff a few years ago was an unbelievable experience. I was really proud to take him to the top. Really proud of my wife taking me to the top. Couldn't have did it without her.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Thanks for joining me for this edition of Inside Ascension. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, you can always send your comments to insideascension@apgov.us. But before I sign off, here's some lagniappe for you. Nana Shah kicked off the Jambalaya Festival on opening night, and our cameras were there to capture the performance. In 2002, they were inducted into the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame. From Ascension Parish, Louisiana, here's Nana Shah. Thanks for watching. So long, everybody.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the band rock, rock, Lord behold, when the clock strikes one, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock to broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Rock, rock, when the clock hits 2, 3, and 4. Clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock to broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Well, I say 9, 10, 11, 2. I'll be going strong, and so will you. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock to broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Let's do it, boys. Clock hits 12, we'll do our best to start a rock around the clock again. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock to broad daylight. We're gonna rock. Had to hop all the rocket can rock it, you can roll it, do the hop and even stroll it at the hop, 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 hop. When the record starts spinning, do calypso in a chicken at the hop, 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 hop. Do the dance sensations that are sweeping the nation at the hop, 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 hop. Let's go to the 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 hop. Come on, let's go to the hop. Well, you can swing and you can groove it, you can really start to move it at the hop. Where the jock is smoothest and the music is the coolest at the hop. All the guys and chicks can get their kicks at the hop. Let's go to 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 the hop. Come on. Let's go to the hop. Let's go. Well, you can rock it, you can roll it, do the hop and even stroll it at the hop. When the record starts spinning, you calypso in a chicken at the hop. Do the dance sensations that are sweeping the nation at the hop. You can swing it, you can groove it, you can really start to move it at the hop. To the hop. Where the jock is smoothest and the music is the coolest at the hop. To the hop. All the cats and chicks can get their kicks at the hop. To the hop. Let's go 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 to the hop. Come on. Let's go to the hop. Let's go. Never know how much I love you. You'll never know how much I care. Or when you put your arms around me, I get a feeling that's so hard to bear. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. A fever in the morning and fever all through the night. Listen to me, baby. Hear every word I say, yeah. No one can love you the way that I do. 'Cause I don't know how to love you my way. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. A fever in the morning, noon, and fever all through the night. Bless my soul, I love you. Take this heart away, yeah. Take these arms I'll never use. I'll just believe in what my lips have to say. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. A fever in the morning, oh, fever all through the night. Sun lights up the daytime, moon lights up the night. Well, I light up when you call my name, because I know you're gonna treat me right. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. The fever in the morning, and fever all through the night. Oh yeah, get ready for the fever, ladies and gentlemen. It's not here tonight, but it's gonna be here this weekend as it warms up. We're not line our shop. We're from the Jambalaya, capital of the world, right here in Gonzales, Louisiana. Thank you for coming out. Hope you enjoy the music.